Pisces, welcome to your hope, fear, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below. Woof. Jeez. You can click right on that description box below, and it will talk about the significance of the spread, as well as the placement of each card. Your cards are literally like flying out. They're being very unruly. Okay. It looks to me like, this sounds funny. So you're hoping to stop trying to save the disaster that already happened. You know, something came apart. Something didn't happen the way it was supposed to. Something was built on a rocky foundation, so to speak. And what I'm saying is there was a situation that was doomed to fail, and somehow you kind of always knew it, but you were the one putting in the work and the effort to try and keep things afloat. And you were the only one putting in the work and effort, so it ultimately did not work out. It failed, it crumbled, and it fell apart. And even after it fell apart, you were like, yeah, but I could put this piece here, and I could put this piece here, and I could put this piece here, and I could put this piece here. And all of a sudden, you stopped. And you realized this fell apart a long time ago, and there is no putting it together. So even though you're drawn to want to fix this problem, you're hoping to let go of the idea of fixing the problem. So it already fell to the ground. It fell to the ground a long time ago. In your fears, we have chaos and remorse and transition. So that's funny because the fives are all about chaos, and chaos comes into our lives to show us the things we don't want. Transition comes into our life, you know, it's represented by death, and some out with the old, in with the new. There's this transitional period, and transitional periods are usually very uncomfortable because there is no growth without discomfort. So what you fear is the discomfort of the situation, because these are both very uncomfortable cards, which is why you tried to save it even after it had fallen apart. You were just delaying the inevitable, which is that the acceptance that this thing wasn't going to work out, the uncomfortable change that comes with growth and transition. So ultimately, you were lying to yourself and pretending like you didn't know that it fell apart, because you just didn't want to deal with the consequences of this is gone, this isn't going to work. The reality of the situation is there's no more teamwork, there's no more effort being put in. And that happiness, that emotional fulfillment that you were hoping for, it's not like the emotional fulfillment is gone, it's that it never really existed in the first place. Almost like it was just an illusion to start out with. Pisces, I'm sorry you're going through this. The Queen of Swords in the inverse has a lot to say. She speaks in truth most of the time. But when she speaks, she doesn't care if she hurts anybody else's feelings. This is somebody who speaks her truth and her perspective. So either somebody gave you some truth that you didn't want to know, or you gave somebody a tongue lashing of their life, or both. Could be a lot of arguments coming out here. And then the anxiety kicks in. You know, not being able to sleep well at night, not wanting to be alone. But somewhere there was this ultimate knowing that this wasn't going to end well in the first place. Yeah. And that outpour of emotion isn't something you can contain anymore. You don't know how to self-soothe right now. So instead of picking up the pieces and working on yourself, you're trying to distract yourself in any way, shape, or form that you can. Pisces, these are general reads. So although I'm getting a heavy personal relationship out of this, like this is a friend, a family member, or maybe even a romantic partner, this could also be vocational. You know, this could be a disappointment at work, a project that fell through, something like that. But I'm very sorry that you're going through all this. But ignoring, or I don't even want to say ignoring, suppressing the feelings or lying to yourself and pretending like the ending just didn't happen isn't going to help you move on and move forward and find those happy days again. Sometimes the pain rushes in and you just have to sit with the pain for a little while before you can really start to work through, why did this happen for me? Because you don't want to apply the victim mentality here and say, why did this happen to me? Or you'll continue to ignore the work that needs to be done to get over such a difficult transition. But if you start asking yourself, why did this happen for me? And how do I not wind up here again? And you actually just let yourself feel the feelings and let them pass as you figure those things out. Well, that's how you process this emotion and take this very painful ending and turn it into something useful. A learning moment, a teaching moment for yourself, if you will. Because when something hits this hard, there's always something to learn from it. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you guys next week.